years, we had an office in pretty much every major market, 18 actually nationwide. Miami, New York, Chicago, Atlanta, DC, Cleveland, Dallas, Houston, Seattle, of course, LA as well. Our corporate office is in Michigan, and they also have our casting department there. They're the ones responsible for sending our talent to our national database of clients. And as far as the database is concerned, that consists of casting directors, agencies, producers, but also private clients as well. So probably my favorite thing so far, doing this online with all of you, that you're not only from the US, but also Canada too. Main reason being where you live or where you're located, it's just simply not a factor. Majority of auditions right now are being held virtually from home anyways. So as long as you have a good internet connection with the webcam, even reliable smartphone, you're pretty much good to go. Now, as far as 9 is concerned, we do happen to be pretty TV and film heavy at the moment. So because of that, we're somewhat focusing on actors, those castings, but a very light heads up with that. Now, wildly enough, I've been working with talent actually in 10 days. It'll be 16 years exactly. Very well to think about. Happy memories, but very well to think about nonetheless. But usually one or two different things will bring someone here at this point with me. Now, the first one being maybe you saw a certain opportunity online that caught your attention. Maybe you felt inspired to express some interest in that. Or very well, you're a person coming into this with interest in the industry as a whole. Either way, 9 isn't going to ask you to quit your job or to drop out of school just so you're able to pursue this. We're going to do most of that work for you anyways. It really shouldn't take too much time away from your actual day-to-day schedule. So I want to get a quick idea of what you guys are here looking to pursue. That's going to help me throughout to cover with all of you specifically. So if you were here looking to pursue the modeling side of the industry, even if you're open to acting as well, go ahead and raise your Zoom hand for me. And if you don't see raise hand at the very bottom of your Zoom controls, if you see three dots, click on that and raise hand should be an option for you there. And you're raising your Zoom hand if you do any modeling whatsoever, even if you would also do acting. So I've got Irene and then Isabel, Jonathan, Daniel, Amber, and Darlene, Chris S., Robbie, Charmise, and Paige, Casey, Chris C., Shay, and Shelley, Keith C., then Craig, Ian, Aaron, and Pamela, Tyler, Brandy, Patrick, and Joshua T. I see Monica, Michael P., Grant, then Calcedona. I have Jimmy, Steve, Michael T., Chris B., Patricia, then Vincent, Jamal, then Audrey, Gorilla Paws, that might be as good as goat meat. Gorilla Paws, welcome. Send first and last name for me through Q&A section, but I do see your hand up. And I've got Darren, Brian H., Jonathan, Adam H., Chris, or Chris C., excuse me, and then Jake, and then Frankie. That's more than half, so we'll cover modeling. What I'll do is I'll go through each facet, so a clear idea of what's involved in that side of the business. All right, go ahead and raise your hand if looking to pursue the acting side of the industry. Oh, you guys are quick. So I got Daniel Dozier. I see Pierre, Darren. I have a Moto user. I see your hand up. I've got Darren, Joan, Brian H., Isabel J. Riddle, Ellen Jackson, Calvin and Paige, James Z., Darlene, Quayshawn and Elizabeth, Corinne, Irene, Gabriel and Steve, or Goat Meat. I have Gotham and Amber. I have Nathaniel, Patrick, Chris C., Rich Calcedona, Kyle and Rex, Chris Ashby, Chris Crump, Richard, Dan C., Casey, Jonathan S., I see Tony, Richard, Tyler, Michael P., Monica, Jamie, Sarah, Joshua, Key C., Donald, Michael T., Amanda, Chris S., Chris B., then Pamela, then Jonathan H., Shiva, Shay, then Talisha, then Jake, Daryl, Steve, Frankie, Hector, Adam, Charmise, and Tyler, almost all of you at this point, then Timothy P., I've got Gorilla Paws, then Brian, Tisha, Patricia, and Vincent, then Donna and Nicole J., Gail, and then I believe last but not least is Ian. Now, there are, if you haven't seen raise your hands yet for either one, do keep in mind doing voiceover, being an extra, even being a body double, stunt double, even reality TV. Keep in mind, like, think about like shows like Big Brother, right? You see them like, oh, you're sponsored by AMC or sponsored by Paramount. They're like selling cheeseburgers for Burger King. You were still a personality and a spokesperson. So yes, it is still acting. Even reality TV, all the same umbrella. All right, so Isabella, you're open. Perfect. I've got Mandy. I see Britt, Andrew, Fior, Tom S, Lori, Chrissy, Jamie, Brandon M, Audrey K, Jeremy L, Christina, Tina G. Okay, good. That was the thing. And so, yes, we do a lot of reality TV. Actually, one of my fave talent of all time, Diamond White, got her break. Now, mind you, she was a talent years before that, had done Broadway. She played Little C in The Color Purple on Broadway, and played Princess Nala in The Lion King, the Chicago production. Had a whole contract doing Phineas and Ferb when X Factor blew up. And if you've ever seen the movie Medea's Halloween, Diamond's a teenager. And if you've seen recently, oh, is it Medea's Destination Wedding? Diamond's the bride. So definitely do reality TV. It definitely translate into other things. Okay, so we're going to cover both then. You guys are pretty well rounded. And then Scott, Quick, and Darlene, I've got you guys too. And I see a couple of you are in Q&A section. Da-da-da-da. Anna, I've got you for acting. Zechariah, reality TV for you too. Okay, so we're going to cover both. Now, keep in mind, what part of the business you choose to work in is your choice and yours alone to make. Most talent I'm personally working with, though, more times than not, I do advise be open to everything. It really is a numbers game. The more you're open to, should be more auditions. That should then translate to more jobs, more networking, more money in your pocket. All good things never harm. But again, we're going to cover both nonetheless. You guys are pretty well rounded, just overall as a group. All right, so with modeling. Modeling's broken up into three different divisions. It's print, promotional, and then high fashion. Typically, we use your body type, your age, and height to figure out which one's the best fit for you individually. With high fashion, it's editorial print and runway. I would say it's the most popular part of the modeling industry, but only counts for less than 6% of all the modeling jobs every year. The reason being, we're looking for talent-wise when it comes to high fashion. Those requirements are just really strict. For the female models, at least 16 years old, height between 5'8" and 6 feet tall, and then dress size 00 to a 4. For the male models, again, at least 16 years old, height of between 5'11" and 6'4", and then jacket size 38 to a 42 long. We also have a curve division for females only. It's sizes 8 to 20, looking for hourglass shapes, and of course, a beautiful face never hurts. Now, with promotional modeling, that's a lot different. That's you're promoting a product at a live event. It could be for a boat or a car show, a convention, even a concert or a sporting event. Now, because it is a live event, there's some guidelines there, but nothing really too intense. In the US, you have to be at least 18 years old, but in Canada, at least 19. You definitely have to have a good look. You're going to be face to face and in person. Want to make sure you're professional looking and presentable at all times. Most important, though, definitely comes down to personality. The client's going to be expecting you to interact, with the public. Make sure you're comfortable. Just being able to engage in conversation, make small talk. It's pretty essential to being successful with that. So with print modeling, print's going to be your online ad campaigns, magazines, billboards, catalogs, pamphlets, pretty much anything of that nature. And print's super different because typically this where clients are more of an everyday person as the face of their company. And they want that because the customer they're trying to relate to and connect with. So you can then go out and buy the item or sign up for that service. It's the average everyday person. They can't use a high fashion model wearing couture diamonds and red bottoms to sell you toothpaste or market medication. It's not going to make sense, and more importantly, it won't relate to the customer, and that's the client's goal with their marketing from the very beginning. So when it comes to print, it truly is the complete opposite of high fashion. There's no restrictions there whatsoever. So here at 9-9, the youngest talent that we start working with is 3 years old, but our oldest current talent actually turned 91 right after Christmas last year. So she was mostly print work and some voiceover, but in theory, with those guidelines, every last one in the call, if you really wanted to, could work in print. So now we're a good number of you, more than half by far, had your hands up earlier for modeling. Of course, a number of you guys did not, but that's okay too. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to work with you. It's a partnership. But I realize, working with talent as long as I have, it's not actually coming from a place of disinterest in modeling, but rather talent not knowing if they fit into that part of the industry. And if they do, where exactly would be their place. So hopefully I gave you guys some new information or some insight. And if opportunities happen to come your way in the future, hopefully you'll find yourself being more open, getting all the information first, then deciding if it's a good fit, and not shying away from the very beginning only because it falls under modeling. So with acting, acting is everything else. TV, film, commercials, voiceover, animation, TV hosting, radio promo, stunt work, reality TV. Again, all the same umbrella. As I said before, where you live or where you're located, at this point in the game, it truly just doesn't matter. Probably the biggest change for the industry came from COVID, and it focused on auditions. Clients couldn't hold them in person, so they had to move everything online. They have it that way still this day because it benefits them. Now they're able to audition pretty much anyone from anywhere. It still benefits talent too, though. If you live in a small town, you're not limited to local projects or having to travel and spend money to access more mainstream auditions. Right now, you're able to audition right from home. So maybe you live in the smallest town in Montana or West Virginia. Maybe you're in Tilbury, Ontario. Either way, nothing stops you from being able to audition right from home. And then keep in mind, if there's some travel involved, it's not common for clients, if they truly want to work with you, for them to just cover